Hello, it's Tamala. Welcome to Mem Talk. I was wondering if maybe we could talk about something for a few minutes. One of the goals of this channel is to give all of us who are caregivers a chance to kind of talk about what's going on and share, so we know we're not the only people in the world going through it. And hopefully we can help each other with ideas of what we've done to navigate or to endure or to um, win in a certain situation and have a good outcome. Sometimes those things are harder to find than others. Right now, I'm in a situation where my husband, who is a wonderful, wonderful man, is, and considerably older than I am, is having a lot of issues with his hearing and his eyesight, which these are not new issues. It just seems like in the last year or two, the extent has gotten much worse. For example, we went to a wedding reception this evening, and we weren't there very long, and I could just tell by the way he was responding. And I mean, he's wonderful, and nobody else would ever know this, but I know him, so I can tell what's going on. He couldn't really see anything. He couldn't tell just because of the lighting in the room. His hearing aids really don't function well when he's in a room with a lot of people, because he's one of those lucky people who, instead of losing like the top register or the lower register in his hearing, he's lost both. And he just has that middle area, and that's very hard to regulate with hearing aids, no matter how high tech they are. So we're dealing with that. And I feel like I spend half my life going, "Did you hear me?" And I hate to sound mean, but I swear I feel like I'm screaming half the time. And he can't help it. He would never, ever want to be going through this. This is not anything anybody made a choice about. It just is what it is. But it's frustrating for him, and it's frustrating for me. Anyway, so we left. We were there for maybe 45 minutes and made our excuses, and talked to the lovely couple and said our goodbyes. So on the way home, sometimes it hits me that the age difference can be a real issue. And when we were younger, it didn't matter a bit. And if he wasn't having the health issues he's having, it might not matter either. But it is, and it becomes something that is very dramatic at times, as far as the way I see our roles have changed. I love him. He is a wonderful, wonderful man. But I find myself looking at him more as somebody I'm taking care of and helping navigate than I am maybe even as we were like 2-3 years ago. And it worries me, because part of that's normal. I mean, he's looking at 80 not far down the road, and I'm not. And I don't want to yet. you know, we have kids who are having their families or getting married, and all these things are going on, and I want to be a part of that. But I feel myself having to really, oh gosh, think about what I can do and what I can't do. For instance, our son got married in Italy in the not too distant past. And as much as it pains me to have to say this, we did not go, because I figured out a few months ago there was no way on God's green earth we were going to be able to get around Positano, Italy, given what we have to deal with. So when you have no depth perception, and you can't hear very well, and your vision overall is bad to begin with. It is just a recipe for disaster. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How is he going to enjoy any of it? How am I going to enjoy any of it? How are we going to be of any help to anybody at that point? So the very difficult decision was made. It'd be better for us not to go. My mom also can't walk very far right now. She's going to have surgery soon on her back, and we hope that that alleviates a lot of the pain. But again, she couldn't sit on a flight that long. She couldn't navigate up and down in a town or city like Positano. It was just going to be a flippin' nightmare. And while I understand that, and logically, I can look at that and be very intellectual about it. Pros and cons. Cons far outweighed the pros as far as logistics. There was just not a good way to make this work. Emotionally, dang near killed me, because this is my baby who got married, my only son. And I wasn't there. Now, luckily, they're having a big reception locally here in the near future, and we'll be able to be a part of that and all those good things. And then I've had people say, well, why did they choose to go there? Because, it was just not going to be an easy thing for you to be able to go. And it's like, that doesn't matter. The last thing I want my children to do is to make decisions like that, and where they think, oh, well, we can't do that because, mom and dad can't get there. And even though it's a dream. So, there's a difference between being selfish about things. And I have always told our kids, if you have a dream and you have a way to make it happen, I want you to do it. Because I don't know about you, but I have far too many regrets in my life where I got scared. I was afraid of what could happen. I was afraid of what somebody might think. I was afraid of this. I was afraid of that. I didn't want to upset the apple cart, yada, 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 yada. And I look back and go, why didn't I at least try? Why didn't I go? Why didn't I travel when I had the chance? And I don't want my kids to ever look back. If there's a chance they can do it, they can afford it, my gosh, they can get everything to fall into place, do it. Life is too short. And I think those of us who are in the caregiving business right now understand that probably more than anybody. And then when you get to the point where you're stuck because you can't do those things, I think that's when you really look back and go, man, I just blinked and 2 decades went by. Or, this thing I always thought I'd have a chance to do, I didn't do it. So that's kind of where I am right now. It's like, I know there are things I want to do, but I don't know what the choice is. I don't think there is a choice. You just do what you have to do and you get through it. But having a community like ours, where we can just sort of get those things out and, watch a show about Italy. I know that sounds silly. And we did get to see the wedding virtually. So that was great. And they hired a professional videographer and all those types of things. So we will have all the beautiful scenes and get to witness all the special parts of their very, very special day. But, it's not the same. And, things like that happen. And we're all sitting in situations that we sure didn't bank on and expect or want. So it's just one of those times. And I think one of the things I'm going to have to do is to just face the fact that my husband is getting older and he is going to be facing things, and I'm going to help him in every way I can, but I can't allow myself to become like that at that time, at the same time. Does that make sense? I'm not there yet. And, I remember years and years ago, I had a great guy who was a mentor, loved him to death. And his first wife had died. They'd been married, like 50 years. And then he married this younger gal. And I remember he had told me all about her, and I couldn't wait to meet her. And she came in my office, and I had to make sure I didn't show what I just did like that. She looked the same age as he was. And she was probably 25 years younger. And I remember that moment thinking, oh no, I cannot allow that to happen to myself. So those are just things that you have to think about. That, I don't know about you, but even if you don't have a spouse or a partner or someone you're taking care of you have that kind of an age difference, but maybe just being with your parent or an in-law or someone you're taking care of who is considerably older, and you find yourself doing those things, which again, you wouldn't not do them, but you just don't want to allow yourself to become part of that mindset. You're not hopefully going to be caregiving forever. You hope that at some point you get to do some of the things that you still want to accomplish in your life. And I hope you get to accomplish in your life. So again, as your friend, if you have any words of wisdom, I would greatly appreciate it. And tell me what's going on with you. So again, you can always join the Facebook group. Again, you just have to fill out the little form, and we'll get you in there. And we have Instagram and all kinds of good things so that we can stay in touch. And again, if you ever just want to vent, you can do that. If you want some advice, or you've come up with some wonderful hacks or ways to, do some things that the rest of us are struggling with, please share. That's what's so great about this, is we can all just kind of help each other, and we can laugh and we can cry and we can groan and we can complain. But, hopefully overall what we're really doing is supporting one another and realizing that, together we can get through these things. So I hope you've had a good day. I hope things are going okay, and love you. So we'll see you soon. Take care.